comfort food on a Monday. Krista Numbers joining us here from Simplify Supper with the easiest casserole you could ever make. You say easy. I'm a little nervous. I'm not a big casserole person.
I'm standing here trying to make it look like I'm doing something, but it's really so easy. It's just melting.
So
this is cream cheese, like in the cream cheese frosting.
Okay, they put a spin on what I said and made it sound like I didn't know what cream cheese actually is, Nisha. Of course I know what cream cheese is.
But you've never made frosting where you like cream the butter.
I was trying to think of the difference between frostings, like cream cheese frosting versus buttercream.
They're both frosting.
I do know that this is cream cheese. Thank you. You can hold the emails, everybody. Concerned for me.
We got this. We got this.
Nisha's already sent one.
No angry emails. It's all good. It's all love. So yeah, so comfort food. I'm thinking ahead to, this is a recipe that's going to get us all the way through like Thanksgiving and the holidays. It started with jalapeno and garlic, diced up, seeded. You want to remember with the jalapeno, it gets hotter as it sits. If you want it hotter, leave the seeds in. I like to take them out.
Okay, so I like to take them out too.
Chop that up. Let that saute for a few minutes until it's nice and soft.
Now this is on
then
low.
I added the cream cheese.
Like
I'm going to kick it up a little bit higher. I just wanted to get the cream cheese melted because that does take a minute. And then this is, I called this extra cheesy for a reason. We're adding cheddar.
Dang, girl.
We're adding Parmesan, about a cup each. I'm going to reserve a little bit to put on top of this.
Like as garnish at the end.
You said you're not a casserole person. Do you just not love
No, I don't mean I don't. I love to eat casserole. I just don't like to make casserole.
Got it. No, this
I've
is
never done it.
Well, okay, today's the day because this is so simple. And really, this is just a great way to combine a lot of flavors of the season, some heat, a little bit of sweet with this corn. I'll let you pour the corn in.
When you started sauteing during the commercial break, Nisha and I, like our mouths were watering. Yeah, the smells are all blending together. You know, do I do all of this corn?
Yes, and it's okay if it has, it's 2 cans. Okay. It's okay if there's a little bit of liquid in there because we're really not adding any liquid. Yeah. You know, with some casseroles, people like to throw in
the cans or whatever.
Yeah, well, and then you add in like cream of chicken or cream of mushroom, and I do those, don't get me wrong, but this is one that's going to be a little bit lighter on those because we've got the cheese in there acting as the binding agent. And so this is one that you could add at this point if you want to throw in you know, some tomatoes from the garden. If you want to throw in some onion, that's fine, but we're keeping this super simple.
How did you come up with this recipe?
These are some of my kids' favorite things, and then honestly just for Sunday dinner, you kind of want to make it to look fancier, but maybe not necessarily add extra work. So that's what we did. So the last thing I'm going to do, will you pull that casserole dish over here?
You bet.
And because this is, there's nothing in here that actually has to cook. Obviously, it's vegetarian. Yeah. You might want to set it down just so that it's kind of heavy.
I can set it.
I want this to fall.
As long as the stove doesn't get mad at me.
So just a nice like 13 by 9. Preheat your oven to 350. And since it doesn't have any, you know, raw anything that has to cook, it really just goes in the oven for 15 minutes. So if you have something else cooking, pop this in at the end.
What happens while it's cooking? Does it get crispy?
It just gets gooey and delicious. If you'll pull over, there's a little ramekin in front of that Smith's bag.
Yeah, I see it.
So you can cook these, bake them in individual ramekins, which is kind of fun. Makes it a little bit different. Or you can keep it simple and put it just in the casserole dish. I'm using the Italian, of course, the Italian style breadcrumbs,
which you
love. Can use plain. And then we just throw some fresh herbs on top, some rosemary. I love how these come from Smith in just those little packets.
I do too. That's how I've been buying them lately, just in the little plastic in the
you pull the rosemary off. Yeah,
produce section.
And then they're done. They're ready to use.
They just give you enough for what you're going to need.
Now I'm going to take the basil that was also out of one of those little packets. That's about 4 basil leaves. I've just rolled those up. Give them a nice little chop. We'll throw that on top.
I do love the basil. Like, that's probably one of my favorite
And you can use, in the recipe, I just said fresh herbs. Use whatever you have on hand. If you have, you know, some thyme, whatever
kind of throw in whatever. Will you hand me that fork or spoon or whatever that thing is right there? I have to just take a bite in this little, what did you call
that? That one's cooked already. So that's a ramekin, and you can get those at Smith in sets of 4 or 6. That one's not warm.
That's okay. It's really, really good though. Like all the flavors together, and it's just cheesy and
it's got a lot of great flavors. It is
comfort
food, and it's also got that nice fresh taste with the herbs and everything.
Oh, Krista, thank you. Everybody be sure to go to simplifysupper.com for this recipe. We'll also link you at goodforutah.com/GTU. You're going to want to make this one because this, I have to say, is one of my favorites. And stick with us because coming up next, we still have a full show ahead. Emmy-worthy products are coming your way next on GTU.